Join me as I challenge myself to break free from the grip of narcissists and expose their true colors. Narcissism is a pandemic that's spreading like wildfire, infecting relationships and leaving a trail of emotional destruction in its wake. It's a subtle yet sinister force that can creep into our lives, making us question our own sanity and self-worth. Being in a relationship with a narcissist can be like walking on eggshells, never knowing when they'll lash out or turn cold. The constant criticism, the emotional manipulation, the gaslighting, it's a toxic cocktail that can leave us feeling drained, anxious, and utterly lost. The emotional toll of being in a narcissistic relationship cannot be overstated. It's like being stuck in a never-ending cycle of self-doubt, where every attempt to reason or communicate is met with deflection, blame shifting, or outright hostility. It's exhausting, it's demoralizing, and it's downright dangerous. And yet, we stay. We stay because we're convinced that things will get better, that our partner will change, that we're somehow to blame for their behavior. But the harsh reality is that narcissists rarely, if ever, change. They're masters of manipulation, and they'll stop at nothing to maintain their grip on our emotions. So, how do you recognize a narcissist? Well, it's not always easy, but there are signs. They're charismatic, charming, and persuasive at first. But as time goes on, you'll start to notice a pattern of behavior that's all about them. They'll dominate conversations, monopolize attention, and expect constant praise and adoration. They're also notorious boundary pushers. They'll test your limits, ignore your needs, and exploit your kindness. And if you dare to stand up to them or set boundaries, they'll turn on you with a vengeance, making you feel guilty, crazy, or just plain wrong. But here's the thing, you can't fix a narcissist, no matter how hard you try. You can't love them enough, you can't please them enough, and you can't change them enough. The only way to break free is to focus on yourself, your own healing, and your own recovery. For me, the moment of realization came when I realized I was living in a constant state of anxiety, always walking on eggshells, never knowing when the other shoe would drop. It was like living in a war zone, where every day was a battle to survive. And then one day, I realized I didn't have to live like that. I didn't have to be held hostage by someone else's toxic behavior. Breaking free from a narcissistic relationship is one of the hardest things you'll ever do, but it's also one of the most liberating. It's like shedding a skin that's too small, too tight, too constricting. You emerge, blinking, into the bright light of freedom, where you can finally breathe, finally think, and finally be yourself. So, to recap, breaking free from a narcissist requires courage, strength, and a willingness to confront the harsh realities of their behavior. It requires us to focus on ourselves, our own healing, and our own recovery. And it requires us to recognize that we deserve so much better, that we deserve to be loved, respected, and cherished for who we are. Remember, you are not alone, you are not crazy, and you are not to blame. Join the conversation in the comments below, share your own experiences, and let's support each other on this journey of healing and recovery. And if you want to learn more about breaking free from toxic relationships and building a life of purpose and fulfillment, be sure to check out my other videos and subscribe for more content.